Hi, and welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas. Now, I've been involved in tax liens and tax deeds for over 25 years. I've been guiding people and teaching people how to do it. I do it myself. I get involved in tax deeds also. I'll tell you about those on another video. This episode is about, is Florida a tax lien or a tax deed state? Well, you're going to be happy to know this. It's actually both. So stay with me for a few minutes, and I'm going to give you some inside tips on how to make money with tax lien certificates, but I'll end the video with a very important section that'll tell you about what mistakes you want to avoid at the tax auctions. So that's an important function because you don't want to make those mistakes. I see people losing money as a result. So stay with me and I'll come right back. Is Florida a tax lien or a tax deed state? Well, as I said, it's both. So that's the good news. So we'll learn a little bit about tax lien certificates to start with, and then we'll learn about tax deeds. Now, there's a world of difference between the two of them. So, as I said, I'm Ted Thomas. I'm not a CPA, I'm not a broker, and I'm certainly not an attorney. But I've studied this, I've learned it in the trenches over the last 25 years. So tax liens and deeds are not new. They've been available for over 200 years. The counties got together with the state and they sort of standardized the collection procedure. And so this has been going on for a long, long time. You can buy a tax lien certificate and make money and do it quickly in a year or less. And you can do that with a $50 bill, $500, or $50,000. Now, Florida has many tax lien certificates. For example, this state will generally have 1 million certificates available every May and June. So in May and June, it's like a bonanza. There's so many of these certificates that people could buy. Now, there's 67 different counties. They all sell tax lien certificates. Now, obviously, the counties with large populations like Miami-Dade, Broward, where Fort Lauderdale is, and of course, Palm Beach County, all of those counties have big populations and they'll have many tax lien certificates. For example, in Miami-Dade, I have seen 65,000 tax lien certificates. If I showed you the newspaper is about 2.5 inches thick, and they list all those. So how would you find a tax lien? Well, you could find it on the county's website, you could find it in the newspaper, and then there's smaller announcements that they'll let smaller newspapers know about it. But I'm here to tell you, there'll be way too many tax liens. This is really a business of abundance. Now, all of the counties will have tax lien certificates in Florida. However, in the United States, there's 3,000 counties. Half of those counties will sell tax lien certificates, and the other half of the counties will sell tax deeds. I'll talk a little bit about the deeds towards the end. But right now, let's concentrate on those tax lien certificates. As I say, there's thousands. There's going to be too many of them. There'll actually be leftovers. Then I'll teach you how to buy those on another video. So is Florida a tax lien or a tax deed state? It's both. So the local counties, they're selling these certificates because a certain amount of people don't pay their tax. Now, all property owners are required to pay property tax. If they don't pay the property tax, well, then there's a big challenge for the county. How is the county going to pay the police force? How is the county going to pay for the school system? How is the county going to build roads and fix them? So the county has a lot of bills, and of course, there's a lot of county employees. They all have to be paid. Same thing with firefighters. They need to be paid. So think about that. The county needs money, so they're going to sell those taxes. So here's how it works. If property owner A does not pay their taxes, the county will move forward, and the first thing they'll do is they'll levy the tax, they'll try to collect the tax, and when they can't collect the tax, what they'll do is they'll issue a tax lien certificate, and that means that's your signal that you could pay someone else's taxes. Now, why would you do that? Because of the outrageous rate of return. The rate of return in Florida is up to 18%. So you can make 18%. Now compare that with a local bank that's paying maybe 1%. So here you could earn 18 times on a tax certificate what you would earn at the bank. Now there's thousands of these to buy. Now, will you get paid back? Well, the records and the history show 95 to 97% of all the certificates redeem. That is, they come back in, the property owner comes back in and redeems the certificate. In other words, they buy the certificate back from the county. So they give their money to the county will call you on the phone or send you an email, and they'll tell you, okay, send your certificate back in, and they'll give you back all your money plus the high rate of return. Now, let me say that again. You get back all your money plus the high rate of return. Now, you might be thinking in the back of your head saying, wait a minute, Ted, you're buying defaulted taxes? I say, yes. Well, if they didn't pay the county, will they pay any one of us? Well, you're darn right they'll pay us, and here's why. They will pay us because, number one, it's the law that they have to pay us, but secondly, if they don't pay us, the county is going to award us the property. That's right, we're going to get the property without a mortgage. Now, how would you like that? You're going to get a property without a mortgage, and all you paid was 1 or 2% tax. Now, this has been going on for 200 years. You just need to learn how to take advantage of it. Now, I don't know where you are, and you're probably wondering what your state pays. If you want to send me a little note, make comments below, do that, and I'll send you a note and tell you what your state pays, and I'll send you a little gift at the same time. Okay, now tax lien certificates aren't well known, and if you're wondering why they're not well known, it's because brokers don't make commissions on these, nor do the attorneys make commissions, nor do the financial planners. This is what you're going to have to learn on your own. You see, brokers make money because they give advice. Attorneys give advice. All of these people have to make commissions to make their money. Well, with the tax lien certificates, the only way you're ever going to know about it is either go to the county website or find it in the newspaper. Let me transition a little bit to tax deeds because Florida does both. Now, in the tax deed states, and Florida becomes one after a few years, all right, what happens in the tax deed states, they do confiscate the property. So that means they're going to push the owner out of the property and they're going to sell that property. So they confiscate it. That means they seize the property. Now, tax lien certificates are much different than that. You get a property, and you get a tax lien certificate, you don't have to worry about it because what's going to happen, the people are either going to pay you or the county's going to award you the property. So I'm going to kind of finish up here because I'll run out of time. But just remember, tax lien certificates are going to be predictable, they're going to be certain, they're going to be secured. All right, you don't have to do any selling. You just buy the certificate, and then the local government is going to pay you on 95 to 97% of the times. So I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and then we'll move on to the next video.
Ted, is there a limit to the number of tax lien certificates I can buy?
The question was, is there a limit to how many certificates you could buy? No, you can buy as many as you want, and you can buy them as many different places you want. And when you do that, you're always going to have a secure investment. Whenever you buy a tax lien certificate, it's secured by the property.
Ted, can you explain how an online auction works for tax lien certificates?
Okay, I want to talk about online auctions. Okay, if you want to do this online, and many of the counties will allow you to do that, you just go to the county website. They'll tell you which professional company is going to run the auction. Most of the counties don't do it themselves. They'll have someone like Bid for Assets or a company like that, Real Properties is another example, and they will have rules that you must follow, and you must make all your deposits ahead of time, and then you just get in line and bid like the other people do. Now, it's not something that I can just show you right now behind me on the screen, but we do have classes on that, and you could watch another video and we'll show you how to do it exactly, and we'll show you which websites to go to.